Hey guys, it's me, Amethyst Dragon. Welcome to another video. Today we're doing the sequel to my Warrior Cats as Magical Girls video. The sequel that nobody wanted or asked for, that I've been working on for 10 months. Hey guys, I've been really busy. I'm really sorry. Oh my god. So basically, it's finally summer, which means my freedom from the torture chamber that they trapped me in for like 9 months. So, yippee! Also happens to be my least favorite season ever. Oh my god, the weather is horrible. And I live in Canada. I can't even imagine how horrible it must be for, like, people who live in the States or, like, Asia. Like, god. Oh my, like, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? Also, as you can tell, I still have not updated my talk sprites. Whoops, but at least I got this Pride Month stuff, so that's cool. I'll update them eventually, guys. I swear, eventually. So yeah, I should probably stop yapping and, like, actually get in the video, so let's do that! We're doing Jayfeather and Hollyleaf today, so, spoilers for Up to Omen of the Stars, obviously, of Warrior Cats, and also maybe, like, A Vision of Shadows, too, because that's what I'm reading right now. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're starting off strong with Hollyleaf. Hollyleaf's probably, like, what, my 4th favorite Warrior Cats character? Like, I like her, I really like her, but I mostly like her because of, like, the fandom, you know what I mean? Like, Canon Hollyleaf isn't bad, I do like her, but I think the interpretations people have of her are actually what made me like her. Notably, this video by Peppermint Moss, oh my god, it's amazing. This is one of my favorite songs of all time, and this is one of my favorite, like, animations of all time. It's so good. Please watch it. Oh my god. But anyway, that's besides the point. Hollyleaf was really easy to do. Mostly because I actually did quite a few, like, sketches of her in my sketchbook before I started drawing her. Just to get a feel for how I wanted her design to go, which I did not initially do for Jayfeather, so you know, you'll see how that goes. So, you know, let's find some of those sketches, right now, actually. So we have this one that I didn't like because the hair is in her face, but honestly, I kept most of the, design elements of this one. I just changed her outfit because, I mean, what the hell is this outfit? It's so bad. It looks like she's wearing, like, rags. We got this one, which is Dovewing and Hollyleaf. Hollyleaf saying, "You're all right, kid," and look to the side, because I think it would have been really cute if they did something like this in the books. Like, why didn't we get more Hollyleaf, like, and Ivypool or Dovewing interactions? We were, like, robbed. And on that note, here's another little Hollyleaf, Ivypool, Dovewing thing where they're arguing in the background of a car while Hollyleaf is driving, saying, "Yeah, I'm taking the girls for ice cream, don't worry about it. If Jay has a problem, he can make me clean mouse pile for a week, blah 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 blah." I don't know, I thought this was cute conceptually, although adding cars to this universe seems like a bad idea, so I don't know, tell me what you think in the comments. I have no idea about the intricacies of my own lore at this point. So here we are with the sketchbook that I had from earlier this year. God, the sealant did really not stay on this one at all, did it? We're gonna go look at some Hollyleaf concept art here, and there she is. Just ignore everything else on this page, guys. I definitely have no obsession with the game that came out 18 years ago. That would be crazy. I would never do. I would never. Why the fuck am I in the middle of a page of Dementio brain rot? No reason, Hollyleaf. Absolutely no reason, Hollyleaf. Anyway, moving on. So basically the hardest part about Hollyleaf's design was mostly just, like, coloring her, I guess. I knew you know, the general colors I wanted to use, obviously, like red, green, whatever. So, you know, the next step I did was naturally making a Pinterest board because, you know, that's what you do. So I got a bunch of references from different artists drawing Hollyleaf, and I was like, I'm gonna make some sort of culmination of all of these in, like, my own thing. I gave her this stupid thing. It's like a tank top and, like, the jorts or whatever with the spiked belt because I just feel like she would wear that. I don't know. I also gave her these Doc Martens because I keep seeing this meme going around like, oh, are you a Converse lesbian or a Doc Martens lesbian? And I'm like, well, you know, I think that if I ship Cinder Holly, then she should, then Hollyleaf is definitely a Doc Martens lesbian to me. I feel like she's the same height as like Jayfeather, but maybe looks a little bit taller just because she wears like the boots, or maybe she's actually shorter than Jayfeather and that's why she wears them. I don't remember what I decided, but yeah, I drew a bunch of stuff on them because I thought it would be cute, kind of like how I had Dovewing's design where it's canon that she drew all those things on her like jacket and sweater and all that. With this one though, I don't know. I don't know if I see Hollyleaf as like the artistic type, but I do think it would be cute if she drew these on herself, and that's something that she can like share with Dovewing or whatever in this AU. I messed around with her outfit a lot actually. Originally, I was just going to do the one that I did in my sketchbook, but then I decided, you know what, she should have something over that, and then I spent like half an hour trying to do this stupid lace translucent lace thing, and then I hated it, and then I just ended up going with the other thing anyway, but I put like a cardigan over it. Anyway, it's fine. I also did some sketches, as you can see, that I wanted to do, and that's one that's actually in my sketchbook. Anyway, I'll get to that later. So basically, I kept both her eyes the same color, but I made them both like halftone looking because I can decide on which green I wanted to use, and then I made her pupils like red because obviously, and I did these like spiky tufts of fur in her ears that are like supposed to look like holly leaves, and then I also gave her like the little holly berries on the ends of her ears because I thought it was cute. I did this thing in my sketchbook where since she has black hair, I gave her like red and green pen highlights in her hair, and I really liked that actually, so I kept it in this, and I gave her like the spiky haircut thing that I gave her. See, the problem with her like her tufts of fur on her cheek also being like spiky or whatever is that I had to go in and like I had to go in with the gray outside of the lines so that you could see where the actual line was, because I made her hair just like pitch black, which caused a lot of problems, but I think I sorted it out in the end. I think it looks fine, if a little stupid. So here I am drawing the cardigan thing after I scrapped the stupid ass mesh thing that I hated. So I'm making it all like ripped up and has a bunch of holes in it. Maybe that's because Hollyleaf is just an edgy little edgy bitch, but maybe it's also because she was trapped in the tunnels for that long, and maybe that's why her clothes are all like ragged and shit. I mean, I do imagine this is her post tunnels rendition. I forgot to mention that this is her Omen of the Stars look, because I mean all of these have been Omen of the Stars so far, so you know. I'd like to at some point do her Power of 3 look. I think that would be fun to do. Like, I think she would have some braids maybe and just be like a cutesy little thing where she's trying really hard to be good at stuff but is kind of like a girl failure. I think that would be cute thing to draw, but I have not drawn that yet, and I definitely didn't have time to draw that for this video, so that's for a future thing. I also gave her a necklace that maybe she used to wear that has like the star on it, like she's one of the 3 that maybe got broken in the tunnels, and now she just has it somewhere and keeps it for sentimental reasons, even though she's not one of the 3. And she knows that now. And yeah, her shirt says "Pay me to care," because of course it does. I mean, this is Hollyleaf. What did you expect? Of course I'm giving her the sassy, I don't give a shit personality. On her boots are representations of Jayfeather and Lion Blaze, as well as Dovewing and also Fallen Leaves. Squirrel Flight and Leaf Pool are also there, but they're crossed out and red. That kind of looks like blood. Obviously, since this is a magical girl AU where everyone has powers, I had to make Hollyleaf feel extra unspecial by giving her no powers at all. which actually makes her, like, anti-special. So she is special in the fact that she has nothing, which is hard for her, but it's definitely like an outcast kind of thing, and I think it's the only way I can really make her interesting again in this universe where everyone has powers and the three are just extra special. You know what I mean? Next up is Jayfeather. So Hollyleaf is my fourth favorite Warrior Cats character. Can you guess who my actual favorite Warrior Cats character is? It's Jayfeather, guys. My favorite arc is Omen of the Stars. I mean, it's not a hard guess, really. I actually spent a lot of time figuring out what I wanted to do for Jayfeather, mostly because he's my favorite character, and if I did him wrong, I would never forgive myself. So, you know, these early sketches are really bad, and I don't like them. So after a while, I had to do some thumbnailing, because, you know, that's what you do, really. You know, originally I wanted to make this video, me doing, like, the OG three, I guess, with Hollyleaf, Jayfeather, and Lion Blaze. But you know what? I actually don't think I ever want to draw Lion Blaze. So I didn't, because that would be too time-consuming. Anyway, lots of eye imagery. We need the eye imagery, of course we do. Not just because he's blind, but mostly because he has some, especially in this AU, he has some weird-ass, psychic-ass powers that could really use some third eye imagery, you know what I mean? So at this point, I'm just tracing Hollyleaf because I'm like, well, I want him to be, like, proportional to Hollyleaf, so I was like, why don't I make him taller than Hollyleaf? And then I was like, why don't I just make him the same size as Hollyleaf later, but we'll get to that part. I'm seeing all this art on Pinterest where it's like the emo haircut and then Moon Kitties, which is just absolutely the emo haircut, which is like, okay, you know what? We're giving him the emo haircut. I can't imagine him with anything else, so this works for me. Yeah, so I had to tinker a lot with this one, and it was, you know, it was a rough start, but we got there eventually, I think. So, as you can imagine, Jayfeather's personality in this AU is exactly the same as Jayfeather's personality in canon, because I would change nothing about it. Except with the context of the, of the Peppermint Moss video that I'm going to put on the screen right now, because this is an amazing video. This is also one of my favorite songs of all time, and you should go watch it right now, and oh my god, the glazing is real. I'm sorry, please go watch this channel. It's peak Warrior Cats content. Anyway, so as you can see, I thumbnailed Jayfeather, and I also thumbnailed Jay's wing as well, because I was like, well, you know what, all the things I wanted to use for Jayfeather that I'm not going to use, why don't I just put them on Jay's wing instead, you know? So that's what I did. I was like, blue, that's for Jay's wing. Jayfeather can be this, a musty blue-gray color, and, I gave him some, you know, tabby markings. Some, like, the red feather parts are like, I'm gonna put that in his magical girl design, or I guess magical guy design. It's really more about the vibe, you know what I mean? He can be baby girl if he wants to. So here I'm messing around with the eyes, like the I'm seeing Star Clan eyes, and the I'm using my powers eyes, and then the normal eyes, you know, lots of eye stuff, because, of course, I love eyes. Yeah, I always end up making 6 different variations of eyes for every one of these designs, especially Ivy Pool. Like, did you see that video? I lost control. Anyway, now that I had this thumbnail down, it was a lot easier from there. I did his hair pretty easily, and I was like, why don't we just give him some, like, stupid-ass, like, coat thing, because he's a doctor. So that's what I did. As you can see, I'm thumbnailing it over there, and I don't like that one, so I didn't use it, but we got somewhere eventually. Lots of thumbnailing with this one, because I was kind of figuring it out on the Procreate canvas rather than in my sketchbook, although I do have some stuff in my sketchbook of this guy, so let's actually look at that right now. So this one's very much just an ideas page where I jotted down some things, and then I had Jayfeather in his magical girl form being like, oh, you didn't think I was alone, did you? And there's like the dove wing eyes behind him, so this one's pretty cool, but also super cringe. This one's just Jayfeather's magical girl form sketches. This one is, what if Jayfeather had a Pokemon team? Because of course I'm nerdy enough to make something like that. Musharna is his ace, Musharna is his ace. Musharna is another underrated Pokemon, you know what I mean? And then this one is just more ideas. And this one's PMV idea. And I did it again, guys. I have a problem. I have a problem. Please help me. So, Jayfeather, I wanted to give him a few traits from Leaf Pool this time around because, you know, a lot of the ones that I see online are like, give him some brown accents, and I think that's cute. And I also think that him just being like a gray tabby and looking literally nothing like either his mother or his father makes no sense, and I think that's lame. Hollyleaf makes a lot of sense, actually. It's like, leaf pool? Plus, Crowfeather equals black cat named Hollyleaf with the green eyes. Yeah, that makes sense to me thematically. That's actually pretty perfect mix right there. Jayfeather, though. Jayfeather has nothing, like, actually, the feather part, that's cute, because it's like Crowfeather, actually, that's cute. But he's just like a blue cat, gray, whatever. He is a tabby, though, so at least there's that. Really, it's just Lion Blaze we have to be mad at here. So I did give him this little marking on his forehead that you can't really see because it's covered by the hair right now, but I'm going to do that overlay thing I did with Dovewing later, to make you be able to see it anyway, but yeah. Where it's like leaf-shaped, and then when he's in his like magical girl form, it'll turn into like the third eye. I think that's amazing. I think that's cute. Then I gave him this stupid lab coat thing. Well, it's not a lab coat. It's like, the sleeves are dumb. I don't like how I did this. Like the sleeves, his arms just would need to be longer for them to actually, like, work. He would need to have, like, longer wrists for that to make any sense. But whatever, because I like the colors and I like how it looks, even if it looks really stupid for casual attire. I think it's fine because he's a medicine cat, so maybe they dress fancy anyway. And he has a lot of closed eye motifs all over his clothes, which is, you know, obviously very intentional because he's going to have a lot of open eye motifs when he's in his magic form. Oh, and on the inside of his coat hem, he's going to have the 3 stars to represent the 3, because of course he would. That's his thing, right? Like, he's the one who's organizing all of this, really. Throughout the whole book, he's just like, yeah, guys, we're special, by the way. He doesn't even tell them until, like, when does he tell them the stars? I don't even remember, but it's, like, later than he should. Bro is really just gonna be out here time traveling and just literally never tell anyone. I guess that makes sense, because who would believe him? I feel like Hollyleaf and Lion Blaze would, but I'm sure he doesn't think that. Then again, they believed him immediately when he told them that they were, like, special. I think the warrior cats just really believe anything they're told, in this series. Anyway, so yeah. I gave him some brown on the tip of his tail, and I really like how I did his tail, actually, even if it looks kind of complicated, and there's like some branch motifs on there as well as the swirlies. Gave him some little feather patterns on his ears, and I gave him this necklace to look like a half moon, and yeah, and I gave him Converse, because of course I gave him Converse. I mean, he's my favorite character. He obviously gets the Converse treatment. It's like the best compliment I can possibly give to a character, really. Alright, now the final design of this video is, of course, Jayfeather's magic form. See, I actually had an easier time coming up with this one than I did for his casual form, so I started doing it in the middle of, while I was still doing the other one. I just duplicated the canvas and started drawing over it immediately like a freak. Anyway, so in this one, I'm going to have both of his eyes visible through the hair, and, I mean, like, over the hair. His other eye was visible through the hair in the last one, but this time they're both going to be, like, on 100% opacity over top of the bangs for symbolism or whatever. So there's, like, a lot of different elements I was trying to fit into this design, so that's why it took me a long time, and that's why it's very complicated. First thing I wanted to include was, like, some stick motifs, both because of, you know, the stick, and also because, you know, his mom is Leaf Pool, so him having some sort of, stick imagery makes some sense, and I like that sort of familial connection that it has. So I gave him that weird thing around his head that's made of sticks, and I also gave him some sticks coming out of his star thing that's on his torso. Also, wings. Obviously, I was going to give him wings. His name is Jayfeather. I gave Dove Wing wings, and now I'm going to give him wings. Except his don't actually work like that because, since I already gave Dove Wing wings, I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to give him just, like, little wings on, like, his arms and his tail and his feet that don't, like, actually work. So the idea is that he can levitate, but only, like, a couple inches off the ground. So it's, like, it is useful occasionally because, it looks cool, first of all. That's the main thing. And the second thing is that he can actually use it to negate all fall damage he would have had otherwise. Like, if he jumps off a really high building, he'll be perfectly fine because he can just stop himself from landing on the ground. But otherwise, it's not very useful for, like, actually getting up to high places or whatever. So I think that's pretty balanced considering it's pretty likely I'm going to give him, like, a lot of overpowered powers in the future. I also sort of wanted to lean more into, like, the kind of ghostly powers as well, because, that's kind of part of Jayfeather's thing, right? He has literally brought people back from the dead before, basically. I mean, just look at the what happened with Poppy Frost. She was supposed to die. She didn't, thanks to Jayfeather, so I think it makes sense that him being a medicine cat and all that, him having some connection to the dead should also be a part of his design. So I made him have some parts of his design that are, like, fade out into lower opacity, or, like, some translucent fabrics and stuff like that, and some, like, this weird mist coat tail to kind of evoke that. I think it's very fun. So yeah, I did give him these stupid little pant leg things that are like, I don't know, like bell-bottom pants, but they're like just in the back and they're like all feathery and stuff, and they go a long way down, they're very long. And I was like, this is really fucking impractical for like battle or whatever. And yeah, he's a medicine cat and he's on the sidelines for most battles anyway. He's more of like a supporting character, but it's still very impractical. So it's like, how can I make this practical without getting rid of it? Because I like how I like how it looks. So a normal person, would just get rid of them, but me, no. So basically, these parts of his design are completely incorporeal to an extent. The ends of his pant legs are incorporeal, so they go through ground and shit like that. Just, for practicality. And, same goes with, like, the mist coat tail thing. I think that's very fun that I did that. I feel like he'd have, like, some coattail thing going on. I don't know, I just think that's fun design-wise. Of course, playing off of the casual wear with the closed eye motif, we obviously have to put eyes, like the open eye motif, over everything. So the leaf on his head turns into an eyeball. We're gonna put eyes on his ears as well, because that's fun, with the little crescent moon shapes inside. The necklace he's wearing, that's supposed to represent half moon, also becomes the pupil of an eyeball. I thought that was really clever, actually. I'm proud of myself for that. I put a gradient on his leggings because I thought that was fun, and I always forget to do fun gradients and designs, which is weird because I love them a lot, so I'm gonna try to do more of those. I put crescent moons on the ends of his sleeves, and, lots of moon symbolism. I gave him these weird glove things, and I left the wrists open so I could put stars on them. And, colored all the wings like blue jay wings, obviously. Did some fun gradients on the coattail and decided to make the back of them black because, I thought there wasn't enough black in his design. And I gave him these branch antlers as well. And I put some feathers, lots of feather stuff. I put stars in his hair because that's fun to me as well. And gave him this little glowing star in his hand because, why not? That's probably what it looks like when he uses some of his powers. The little star thing, lots of mist, lots of stars, lots of all that jazz. Yeah. He does have a few powers. He has the levitation thing, of course. He also has like a sleep powder ability where he can, if somebody touches the sleep powder, they fall asleep, obviously. I was gonna give him like a sleep mist power, but I think it'd be fun if it was like a combo thing he could do with Dove Wings, like air manipulation, where if they work together, they can make the sleep mist. So, like, I think that's a fun idea, having the different characters do different, like, combo moves and stuff like that. I think that's cute. I think he probably also has some illusion magic, and he can also, when he is in his magical girl form, he can see, like, faint silhouettes of people, but that's kind of what he can already do in the books, like, because he can tell where someone is based on, like, their feelings or whatever, I think. But he still can't see anything that's not a cat. So if he's like fighting someone, he'll be able to tell where that person is if he's in his magic form. But he will not be able to stop himself from running straight into a tree. It's always the trees. Think like Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? So something sort of like that. And then, of course, all of that in addition to the powers he already has. Yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna find more powers for him to have, but for now, that's pretty much all I got. Alright, so we got a couple more sketchbook pages that I want to show you guys. So we got this one, that's a little Dovewing Ivypool interaction I did about Hollyleaf.
What do you even call your grandfather's cousin's child?
Second cousin once removed?
Then Hollyleaf is the coolest second cousin once removed.
Tried telling that to Jayfeather.
No thanks.
I don't know, I just think that, I think it's funny that there's, like, I had to look up what Hollyleaf would be in relation to Dovewing and Ivypool. And this one, that's Hollyleaf getting ready to go on a date with Cinderheart, because I think that ship's actually really cute. Better than with Lime Blaze. Yep, I'm a Lime Blaze hater. Jayfeather, if you ruin this for me, I'll fucking kill you. Yeah, I like their dynamic as, like, Hollyleaf just always being pissed off at everyone. But then being, like, really sweet to Cinderheart. I think that, I love that ship dynamic, honestly. And that just about brings us to the end of this video, guys. I hope you like my takes on these characters, and, I do not think I'll be doing another one of these videos for a while. There's a lot of other stuff I want to do first, but you know, if you guys like this one, we'll see. Maybe I'll do another one. Anyhow, it's now that I'm finally done with this video, I can play Chapter 4 of Deltarune because it's Delta June. Bye!